Welcome back to the Hard4Games channel, everybody. I'm Tony.
I'm John.
We have two N64 long cart development prototype cartridges today that we have dumped and preserved. It is 007. The world is not enough. Thank you. One of them is sort of a final-ish build with debug features. The other one, super early alpha. We're going to be exploring that today. Stay tuned because it's going to get very silly. Cheers.
Yes.
Big thank you to Gaming Legend 64 for sending these over to be dumped and preserved. Now, I'm sure you all remember GoldenEye on the N64, absolute classic made by Rare, but a little bit of an unknown gem is the next Bond game. This one, The World Is Not Enough, and it wasn't made by Rare, it was made by Eurocom, which is probably one of the reasons why it's less well known. All the rights for 007 were getting shifted around at the time, and unfortunately Rare could not do a follow-up with Bond. But of course we also got Perfect Dark, so no
Overall,
complaints.
that went well.
Yes, overall I'd say it was a pretty good game. The rights just went to Amazon, so they're always shifting around.
I think the new one will be about James Bond just shooting union members.
I hope so. Just kidding. Not to mention, this game is one of the few N64 games that really utilizes the expansion pack well, the 4 megabyte expansion pack, bringing it to 8 megabytes of RAM. It does a sort of texture resolution increase.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
But without sacrificing the frame rate, without sacrificing the frame rate, which a lot of N64 games do. Not to mention, it also has like a lot of voice in it.
Can I help you?
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Ah, Mr. Bond. We have a safety deposit box waiting for you.
Fairly audible for a solid-state drive.
Yes. Now, we are not going to focus much on the sort of near-final debug build, but just kind of so you guys know what's in it. When you go to the main menu, if you press up, you'll get a secret menu with all of the cheats enabled, all the levels, all the gadgets, all the everything, so you can jump into any level as you please and just have absolute mayhem. I should also note that this was recorded footage from Project 64 emulator, but the alpha build does not work on Project 64 and doesn't work well on other emulators I've tried, so we're going to record that segment on real hardware. We're jumping into the alpha build on real hardware here, and one of the unique things about this game here, this particular build, is that it has a passcode to get into the actual game. This is one of the ways that developers protected their products, right? In this case, it is left, left, right, right, left.
As you can see, it worked and the game never leaked, which is why we're playing it right now.
Exactly.
Oh, look at this guy.
Now you're going to notice different fonts, placeholders, everything here is more basic and different. The user interface is completely different. It is very much an alpha.
I love how it's like, graphics to be done. Publisher logo 1, to be supplied. To be supplied. To be supplied. Eurocom, etc.
All right, select mission, select file, multiplayer, and then options.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, geez, I didn't even notice that. Thank you.
If there's one thing I love more than booze, more booze.
More booze. One thing you'll notice is that it does incorporate the high color, high res mode in this, even in the early version. With each one of these menus, you have this sort of decoding feature, which doesn't exist in the final version. I thought they were being kind of clever, but honestly, it's kind of annoying. After like the 30th time, we were like waiting for the text to decode. Now, here we have less missions. In the main game, we have 14 missions. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 10 total. Each one of these corresponds to one of the missions in the actual game, but these aren't in order. So the retail game starts with the level Courier. However, here we have Airfield, which is actually the Midnight Departure level. Now, on occasion here, what I would do is I would compare what the level looks like to the retail version, or I would compare the objectives to the retail version. Some of these don't have the objectives listed, so I kind of had to guess.
Yeah.
So I may not be 100%. I played through a number of the levels in the retail version, like spot checked all of them and watched a walkthrough, but I still may be missing some details here. I'm not an expert at this game. We'll show a little bit from the retail version, then a little bit from this, and kind of show the difference. you're hearing here is primarily just the click of the trigger. You're not really hearing the gun sound.
Thank you.
Oh my god, thank you so much. You're such a sweetheart. In this alpha build, I go back and forth with the joystick, but when I come out of the menu, if I press up, I start looking up. So it almost switches what the controls do momentarily. It does sort of the up D-pad function briefly.
Weird.
So again, I'm doing up D-pad now, down D-pad. I go here, I'm gonna switch over to the joystick. And I go up, right? So it's very, very strange. A little bit of a glitch there. Obviously,
Weird.
This is very early.
It's probably because what it tells it in the menu to do is act as the D-pad. And the part where it says, okay, now act as a joystick.
Is delayed, maybe?
Yeah, it's just a little delayed.
Fair enough. Here we have Skiing Chase. It's a placeholder name describing what the level is, but in actuality, it is Cold Reception.
Cold
Thank
reception.
you. Here you go.
All right.
We'll show a little clip of the retail version, just so you guys get an idea. But this alpha version is just delightfully janky.
Oh my goodness. Oh my ski freak.
Couple things. Notice how there were no mission objectives. Secondly, notice how the gun is floating here.
Yeah.
Because there's so much movement up and down, they haven't tracked it properly yet, right?
Yeah.
So the gun is just sort of this. You're not James Bond here. You are a disembodied gun. One thing you'll notice about this level is that the layout is actually pretty true to form for the retail version, which is not going to be the case for most of these levels. So the next one is Caviar Factory, but in reality, it is City of Walkways.
I was going to say, in the movie, it is actually a caviar factory.
Yes. So in this, it's much more simple. It's just describing what the level is without any of the flair. Okay, just not for me.
What is this?
You're on like a boardwalk, basically.
Yeah, but why am I aiming like this?
Ooh, okay, it's aiming with the joystick in this one.
And moving.
And moving, so the
Yes.
the controls are real messed up.
I think the controls are glitched and trying to use part of the previous level scheme. This is going to make shooting very funny.
This is why it's good to do it on real hardware for something this early, because if this happened and I was playing it on emulator...
Yeah, you just think it was the emulator.
You would just think it's the emulator, you think it's like, oh, I have something mapped wrong or whatever. But in reality, it's an alpha build. It's super early.
Yeah, it's clunky.
Also, I don't remember the retail version being this dark.
Yeah.
Super dark.
I mean, in the film, it does take place at night, but like... Also, look at how little, like, there's no texture on this. There's just sort of, like, would that be light mapping? So it's like showing, like, a normal map.
Again, it's alpha. This is a work in progress. This isn't, like, an issue.
Yeah.
Right? So this is something okay, we got this done. Now we're going to come back to it and do that. We're going to come back to it and do that. So this one is interesting. It's Maiden's Tower, but it actually jumps all the way to the end of the game. It's A Sinking Feeling. That's the name of the level in the retail version. And also another one of these I think is also A Sinking Feeling, but I can't quite tell. So give that one a try.
Board submarine rescue Christmas. Force sub to surface.
Oh.
I actually remember this level. Oh my god, it's doing the thing with the aiming again.
Ooh. Should we try a reset? Would that help, maybe?
Yeah, let's try a reset.
Okay, let's do like a hard reset. Totally power up,
full
power
reset.
on.
Hey, look at that.
Did it work?
It worked.
Oh my god. Okay, so if you do the skiing level...
Yeah, it screws up a lot. It
screws up the controls for every other level. So this really isn't a level. This is just a map.
There doesn't even seem to be a way to get over that. Let's see. If I just walk through here, does it...
You just land, yeah.
Okay. Yep. Uh-huh. I was going to say, there didn't even seem to be, like, the walkways.
Now, is it just me, or is the frame rate kind of struggling here?
There are parts where it's smooth. This is not one of them.
Yeah. Select mission. Now we go to frigate. And...
Get aboard ship. Rescue Dr. Christmas Jones.
Aren't those...
It sounds pretty similar.
That sounds pretty similar, right? But look, we seem to be aboard a ship, but a super, super alpha untextured ship. So this is Scottish Castle outside, but it's not a level. It's actually just from a cutscene from the Underground Uprising level toward the end. But in this, you can play it like almost like you're on a boat going towards it. So I think originally it was maybe something else. I don't know. Like it's very, very
maybe
strange.
Another gallery shooter that they decided to cut out.
The money had been treated to turn it into an explosive, which was triggered by a signal via King's lapel pin.
Okay, for some reason, like, see this like weird geometric thing?
Yeah.
I've played it where this almost functions like a boat and I can move around. But on here, I'm just sinking. So I'm not quite sure why. But I've gotten up there.
This right here is the alpha experience.
Again, I just keep sinking. Yeah, I seriously, I have gotten up there before. I don't know how. Here's the Scottish Castle inside, which again, isn't really a level. It's just sort of like an exploration on the land, which you can get to in the other one, apparently. So this is really strange. So like, it'll like clip in and out of... Hang on, I can maybe get this. So you can like kind of see the interior of this area. It's supposed to be like your headquarters, but you can't get in here. You just start like sinking through the ground or what have you. Like it's very strange. Obviously, the collision is all messed up. And if I go here, I'm just gonna go into a void and fall into oblivion. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So now we found ourselves in. Here we go.
Oh, okay. Okay, this part. Okay. It's been a minute since I've watched this movie.
But you see how, like, this is just... half of it's like a cave.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, like, placeholder textures.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are three of them.
This is very, very strange. Street Chase is the River Thames chase.
It's the big river that goes through London.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you. So this is nothing like the actual... Mr. Louie. Yes, you do. Don't mind. Don't mind if I do. Oh, good boy.
Look at that.
He's like, I'm running away. You can't take this from me. I'm happy as can be. Like,
you can't have my dried out bull penis.
Yeah. It's not a bully stick, but yes, he has had those in the past. Yeah, so this is nothing like the actual level. It's very short. It's very alpha. MI6 London, which is King's Ransom, which is like the second or third level of the game. I can't recall.
Bond, we're under attack. Find Sir Robert.
The automatic security door system is damaged. Can you reach the car? Quickly, Bond.
Okay, yeah, this mission.
So this is when the headquarters, you know, the terrorists are coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Things are exploding. You're having to like turn on the sprinkler system. You're having to like.
It's so much brighter.
It's brighter, and I feel like there's more of a reflection on the floor.
There is a lot more,
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
also a lot of these rooms are like super unfinished.
Yeah, go back. Let me see this reflection. Just stay
Yeah,
still
look at
for a
that.
second. Yeah.
Look at that. Also, you can see that it's incorrectly reflecting. It's actually a transparency.
Yeah.
So it isn't showing me the inverse, which it should be showing me up here where the skybox is, but instead you can see if I stand back and I tilt like this,
Yeah.
it's actually a transparency. That might have just been the easier way to calculate back then.
I think the best way to describe it is that in this version, the floors were recently waxed. In the retail version,
Yes.
they were not recently waxed, so they're less shiny.
Yeah, they went crazy with the shine, and then they were probably like, this runs like butthole.
Yeah, I think
We gotta fix this.
It runs more poorly because there's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, you can't see the gun in this, which is interesting. Like, aside from, I think the whole thing is just unoptimized in the alpha, obviously. But I think that the reflection is a bit distracting. I think they thought that this would be a cool effect. And so they're like, let's play with it, let's experiment with it. But ultimately, it's a little bit distracting because you see the floor and the ceiling at the same time, and then the ceiling on the floor. So it's like, it's just a little bit too much.
Louis really into that.
If you hear a little extra like chomping sound, Louis got his treat. He's happy as can be. He's messing up the audio, but we're not gonna care because
He's gonna make some Tim Allen grunts.
he's enjoying himself. He just turned 14.
Yeah.
Like a half week ago. Let him mess up
what
the
a
audio.
boy.
Let him
What
mess
a
up the
boy.
audio, whatever.
Standing here, it kind of reminds me of like the X-Men base. in
Oh,
movies,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Remember when they were like, who should we have as Beast? Frasier.
Yes.
Should have Frasier. You know what was annoying is they didn't have Niles. Oh, for God's sakes, Beast, we do this. Oh, damn you, Niles, we'll go to the opera another day.
That would have made X3 a better film.
It's literally almost anything. Like.
Here we have Sub Pen, or in the retail version equivalent, I believe it's called Meltdown. It's the final level of the game. Basically, they both take place in submarines. So I think I'm actually stuck, so maybe I'll reset this. Here's another hole to fall down. Okay.
Is that a good hole to fall down?
I don't...
I don't think there are any good holes to fall down.
Yeah, I don't. I think this is just super. See, I just keep falling down holes. Oh, here we go. Here's a hallway, but then another hole. Like it's I'm very. Oh, then it just gets untextured. Now I'm in the abyss. Yeah. So this is just untextured everything. This is just nothingness. Yeah. All right, we're gonna try multiplayer out of a morbid curiosity. Have a couple different scenarios. We're just gonna do deathmatch.
Little glitchy.
So we're kind of...
I do like the FOV that they went with for this. I don't feel like claustrophobic at all.
Yeah.
Oh, I see something is falling over here. There it is. That's the thing that fell. What is it? An AK. It's a little weird that it's a hedge maze.
And then it's literally a labyrinth, and you're trying to find each other.
Yeah, where's David Bowie?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm even going to find you. All right, so that is the alpha of The World Is Not Enough. Very early, very interesting. Now, both of these will be released. Again, the owner, Gaming Legend 64, sent these over. We dumped them.
again.
Thank you very much. And Codebound will be releasing them. We will have a link in the description below so you can check them out and mess around and fall down holes and be confused for yourself.
You get the weird, sloppy experience of getting to see an alpha build of a game, and it's interesting to see them half finished.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know, like every now and then when you go to like an art exhibit, you'll see like unfinished works from artists, and they're really cool to see because you get to see a part of the process.
Yeah.
But like in something as large and complex as a game, they're really weird.
They're super weird. But the fun thing is that not only do you get to see a super early alpha, but you get a build that has all the cheats enabled. So it's like you not only get to see the earliest part, but the absolute end.
Yeah.
Right? So like you get to play with everything, and you get to see the super early bits. Like it's kind of a cool spectrum.
Yeah, it's
a ZX spectrum, if you will.
Yeah, a ZX spectrum.
Guys, thank you for watching. Again, thank you to Gaming Legend 64 for sending this over. Check out the ROMs if you would like. Please subscribe, join us on Patreon, all that good stuff. Hope to see you all back for the next one. Take care. Double cheers. Double cheers. Double cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. So many olives tonight. Very nice.
I had two things to say to you before we went. I've been trying to do a lot of Twitch streaming, and I have a Twitch channel. It's just twitch.tv/John'sAshes. We'll have a link in the description. And feel free to follow me.
Check it out.
Come by, check it out. I actually streamed a little bit of testing this the evening before, so you would have gotten a sneak peek to this.
Sometimes it's
if
like a
you take
little
look.
mini preview. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you can ask us questions if you've got prototypes and stuff. You can talk to me.
Yep.
I can explain how to get in contact with Tony, how the process works and stuff like that. But then I was going to say that I was briefly working as a mortgage underwriter, and there was a broker I worked with for a while, and I discovered he had a YouTube channel, and he's been making fantastic little snippets that are informative little videos about, you know, how to prepare yourself for the buying process. And he has no subscribers. I was his 100th subscriber, and he's been putting these out for years. So I wanted to give Dave Averill from Dave Financial a huge shout out because he was awesome to work with. And his videos are really, really good. So if you're ever looking to get a house, I honestly can't remember which state he operates in. He may operate in several states. If you want to deal with him, he was awesome to work with. But I just wanted to give him a quick shout out. So Dave, hopefully you get some extra subs out of this because you were awesome to work with.
Yes, please.
So, have a good one.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.